Okay, so we're going to talk about movies that genuinely scared us as children. They might not be our favorite movies, but they genuinely scared us. So we're talking about The Shining.
Yeah, The Shining. Truly terrifying.
Which, is that a horror movie or is that a thriller?
It's definitely suspenseful.
Yeah.
And there is enough. I mean, it's ghosts and this haunted hotel.
Right, and there's enough just weird imagery in that movie.
It's jarring and uncomfortable. And
there's a
little cringy.
There's a whole documentary about The Shining on Netflix called like Room 217.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No, I don't think I watched that one.
You gotta check it out, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, because I am actually currently reading through the book, because I had never read the book and a friend of mine loaned it to me.
Okay.
And so I am almost to the end. I'm probably less than 50 pages from the end of that book, and it's very good.
I've never read the book. I've seen the movie, of course. What's the difference?
There are
major differences between.
Yeah,
The Shining?
there are some subtle differences. Wendy's hot in the book as opposed to Shelley Duvall.
I'm sure there's people out there who think Shelley Duvall's attractive. There's got to be at least one, right?
Sorry, I had to let that.
Are there any other
silence sit there?
Are there any other movies that really scared you as a kid besides The Shining?
See, the thing was, when I was a kid, I didn't watch scary movies.
Right.
I did not like things to scare me.
Right.
I went through a couple of haunted houses when I was real little, like 8 or 9, and like I didn't pee myself or anything, but I booked it out of there. As soon as I got to the end of that shit, I was like, nope, fuck it, I am out.
Right. And it's a weird thing, especially like when you're talking about horror movies and the horror genre. As a kid, they can be very scary, but it seems like as an adult, like I don't even particularly care for horror movies anymore.
There was a time like that late middle school, high school age where my friends were, getting me into Halloween and Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff like that, where I kind of got into horror movies for, a while. But, when I was younger, I really avoided movies that scared me. Because, like, did you ever see the movie Arachnophobia?
Oh, yeah.
That movie scared the shit out of me.
That I've rarely even think about that movie, but when I do, I'm just like, ugh. Okay, so
Jeff Daniels is in that.
John Goodman is in that movie too.
I was watching it on DirecTV, and on the DirecTV guide it said comedy. And I was like, okay, maybe this will help me not be scared of spiders if it's a comedy. No, it made it worse.
Yeah, when you show like a flashback of a spider on a baby's head, God, that's how you got. Oh, Arachnophobia. Oh yeah, fuck that movie.
Yeah, fuck that movie.
I need to go back and watch it. I need to go back because it's been
20
years since I've seen that movie.
I know that I am not gonna be, and it's probably been 20 years since I watched it. Yeah. But I know that to this day, I am still not going to be able to make it through that movie.
Wow. Okay, so let me tell you about the scariest memory that I have, and it definitely, and it's something I think about often. I probably had to have been about 5 or 6, and the way our house set up when I was young, I could kind of like sneak into the hallway and see the TV while my parents were watching TV.
Right.
My mother was watching American Werewolf in London. And the scene
which
where...
is a decent movie.
Oh, it's great. And a horror comedy, too. Yeah. But the scene where the werewolf attacks the two travelers at the very beginning, the hikers.
Yeah.
I recall, and I still see it clear as day, the werewolf attack on the main character's friend as he's getting just mauled and just so bloody and gory, and it just scared the shit out of me to the point where I had nightmares about werewolves. And I even remember a particular dream that I had because of that one scene from American Werewolf in London that was so scary to me that I have yet to have a nightmare to compare to that.
Really?
Right. And I don't have nightmares very often, but sometimes you have scary dreams, but I don't recall. And I remember my sister telling me that she had come into my bedroom and that I was just shaking like uncontrollably. So scared. And what's funny is I didn't actually see the whole American Werewolf in London until years later, until I'd grown up and moved out of the house. And the scene in particular that scared me so much isn't even as gory as I remember it. And I remember it clear as day being just horrific. But when I went, I was like almost as if I was watching a different movie. I mean, it's the same movie. But as I was watching it as an adult, I was like, what? This isn't that bad.
Yeah.
What's the deal? But it's crazy how your perception as a child is so different than your perception as an adult, but yet that childlike perception that you had stays with you, because I remember it. I remember seeing that scene being 10 times more gory than it actually is. And I remember that nightmare that I had to this day, 30 years later, of being so terrifying to me because of American Werewolf in London, which isn't even, which is a great movie, but it isn't, I mean, it's a horror comedy.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's my one memory. And anytime anybody has ever asked, like, what's the scariest movie you've seen? I always go back to American Werewolf in London as a child.
Yeah. As a child.
It just scared me. Now, another thing that scared me a lot was the movie Legend, which you still haven't seen.
Yeah,
right?
I still haven't watched
There's a goblin named Blix who's just gross and slimy, and he always scared the shit out of me too.
But not really. That's not really like a horror movie.
It really kind of is, though.
Is it?
I mean, you've got to watch it.
Yeah,
you've got to watch it, because I watched it a couple weeks ago and really came to the realization. First of all, it was directed by Ridley Scott.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, this is a fairy tale horror movie, because there is some just flat out gruesome imagery. And whenever I watched it as an adult, couldn't believe my parents let me watch this as a child.
Nice. Just
because of just how scary things like the monsters and stuff still look. I mean, they just look grotesque. There's like grotesque imagery.
Yeah.
In the movie Legend. So I would recommend you go watch it.
In, I think, the 2006 through 2010 era, I did kind of have like a resurging love for horror movies, because, at the time they were making a lot of, fairly decent movies, The Ring.
I remember watching
the Saw series, which got,
that started the whole
rails.
Torture porn genre.
Yeah, it did, though. And, I saw 1, 2, 3. I saw almost all of them in the theaters, all the way up to 5.
The first Saw movie I ever saw
I love
was
saw that.
The second one in the movie theater, and I'd never seen any other ones. I just went with some friends that were like, hey, we're going to see this movie. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I found a fan edit of like the first 6 or 7 movies,
like in sequential
order, and watched the whole thing.
Like
it was
to
pretty
watch
cool.
that, because they are so, like, it's hard to place on the timeline where they are, especially once you get up to 5.
Yeah, it gets pretty
6.
convoluted.
Yeah,
and you're just kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
So, but hey, James Wan, who wrote and directed the first, I know he did the first movie, and I know he executive produced the other ones. I don't know if he wrote any of the other ones. He's had a pretty great career since then.
Yeah.
He did the most recent Fast and Furious movie, which was huge. But he also did a movie with Kevin Bacon. It was like a revenge movie. I can't remember the name of it though, but it's good. Anyway, are there any other movies that scared you as a kid?
As a kid, I mean, I might have been pretty scared of Bride of Chucky, but
we didn't even talk about Child's Play.
Yeah, Child's Play.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Good. I don't know why Bride of Chucky was the one that came to mind, but yeah, Child's Play and Child's Play 2, the fucking Chucky doll, was pretty disconcerting.
But then that movie that series kind of went off the rails,
and that's why I
got real meta.
And that's kind of why I was surprised that Bride of Chucky was the one that came out of my face hole.
Yeah, and then like Son of Chucky.
Yeah,
remember that one?
Exactly.
Yeah,
those were so weird.
Were weird, and it's weird to see a movie that starts out with a kind of a serious tone, as serious as you can be with a killer doll, go into such weird territory as Bride of Chucky and the Seed of Chucky was what it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that, like, we started this segment.
Redman and Jennifer Tilly and
It's kind of funny that we started talking about this segment and didn't actually talk about The Shining at all. Like, because that's what I was talking about when we started. But That scene with the woman that Jack meets in room 217, where she is hot and then transforms and becomes grotesque. Like, that is the scene, honestly, that I was thinking about that kind of terrified me.
Yeah.
That was the one.
See, I never watched The Shining as a child. I was more into like teenager.
I mean, I was...
when I got into that movie.
I was looking for boobies. And, DirecTV was always really good about letting you know if there's nudity. There was going to be boobies. Oh, there's an N in the parentheses.
Oh,
that
God.
means there's nudity.
And, I would sit through so much crap on like we had the movie channel.
Right.
Which is just a terrible channel.
Yeah,
They just show the worst movies.
Yeah.
As opposed to like HBO and Showtime and all that.
But like, that was why. That was why I watched it. Was because of the N in the parentheses.
You want to know a movie that terrifies me as an adult? The scariest movie I've seen as a grown-ass man? Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Because that movie is terrifying as a male.
Yeah.
That's like a man's worst nightmare is getting married and then your wife framing you for her murder.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That movie, I swear to God, when I saw Gone Girl, I saw it with a group of people, and there's so many just like, what the fuck moments in that movie, and I'm just like, oh, and I said for a while after I saw that movie for the first time, I was like, Gone Girl is a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
Because it's terrifying. As a man, I couldn't imagine something going through that's worse than that. And then he has to stay with her at the end. Oh, it's such a horrible ending. Oh my God. So yeah, American Werewolf in London, scariest movie I saw as a kid. Gone Girl, scariest movie I've seen as an adult.
Fair enough.
I would rather be mauled to death by a wolf than have to go through what Ben Affleck went through. Terrible. Just horrible. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm gonna have nightmares about that shit. Maybe that's why I just don't want to get married again.
Right?
Who knows?
Right?
All right, man. I think that's gonna about wrap it up.
I feel like that's good.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I think we've succeeded in our goal, our Halloween goal.
Happy Halloween, everybody.